dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict, right? We're going to get straight into the content of the day. Hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And let's talk some seriousness. Let's talk about immigration. Let's talk about illegal immigration. Let's talk about what everyone in the world is talking about right now. Is it right? Is it wrong? Why are the Mexicans getting a lot of blame placed on them like they're the only immigrants coming into the United States? Let's get to it, right? So there's a lot more focus on illegal immigration than there's ever been in the United States ever. Okay. It's always been a hot topic. With the election that just happened, it was definitely a hot topic. It was definitely a reasoning behind a lot of people voting for whoever they voted for. And again, man, to each their own. I'm just glad that people actually took the initiative to get up off their lazy ass and make a difference. Whether you believe you made a difference or not, that's yet to be seen. The man has spoken. The man is in position. We'll see how it all works out. Now, of course, there's people that are tougher on immigration than others. I come from a long line of immigrants. My family members are from Mexico, from Zacatecas on one side, from Juarez on the other. Juarez being right there on the frontera, right there on the border, over the fucking, about a half a block away from El Paso, Texas. It's a heated and hot zone, right? I've been to Juarez, Mexico. I've seen the ins and outs. I've seen illegals pass over. I've seen people hate on the fact that they pass over. I've seen different ways that they cross over. But I ain't got nothing to speak on about that. That's their business, how they do it, how they get over. I'm noticing, man, Mexicans are getting a lot of hatred. They're getting a lot of fingers pointed at them. Like they are the only ones coming over in this mass immigration that has happened. Like they are the only ones the borders have been open to come over and set up shop in the United States. But there's a lot of different immigrants that are coming over. You have a lot of Chinese, a lot of people from Arabic nations, a lot of Venezuelans, a lot of people from El Salvador and Central America. Of course, you have a lot of different people from everywhere, and no one seems to be talking about it. No one seems to be noticing. It's always the Mexicans are coming over, the Mexican border, right? There's a lot of other borders too. Speaking of the Canadian border and several other spots that people are passing through too as well. Now, I don't think, the fact that people want to come over and steal jobs like people say is the hot topic. There's been people crossing the border for decades that don't come over to cause fucking chaos. They don't come over and to commit crime or to be vagrants in the streets or to contribute to the fentanyl crisis or the homeless crisis. There's a lot of people that come over to make an honest wage because the country they're coming from is impoverished. It's not up to par. They don't have the same opportunities that we do in the United States that a lot of people here take for granted. Okay? There's a lot of people that don't have running water. They don't have electricity. They don't have the heater to turn on when it's cold or the AC to put on when it's hot. They don't have that. So just these little leisures in life that we take for granted being Americans is something that they want. Now, I understand if you're from a different country, hey, that's just the luck of the draw. That's where you were born. Half of the people in this country are undecided on what to do on illegal immigration, and maybe they should just live there. I am a firm believer, and this is my point, period. If people are coming over from whatever country they're coming over for, as long as they're doing it the right way, as long as they're getting their papers in, their papers processed and everything, they should be given a safe haven. There is a lot of countries that once you leave, you are not allowed to back in. You can be terminated. It can be death if you try to go back into your country. So there's a lot of people that seek asylum that actually need asylum. But this has been a way for people to bamboozle, trick, go through the loopholes, find ways and avenues to explore getting into our country without doing it proper. Now, I'm a firm believer in the rule of law. Okay? Was I in the past? Absolutely not. Have I broken laws? I probably break them daily, right? I'm not supposed to, but hey, I still do the California roll. Stop signs, I can't read that much. I'm just going to say at the end of the day, these little things we do start to add up. When it comes to illegal immigration, man, I don't believe everyone is trying to come into our country to tear it down. I believe the abundance of people that are coming, the mass quantities of people that are coming or are being allowed, we're being allowed for whatever reason, okay? Maybe it was votes. Maybe it was whatever else, man. I don't like to get into the government issues and the political issues about it, because politics are all over the place. I believe we're talking about real people. See, these words, illegal immigrants, I don't like. I don't like that. It makes them sound like it's dehumanizing. It makes people sound like they're not humans, like they're a place or it or what, rather than a who. Okay, everyone has families. Everyone has a meaning behind what they do. Everyone needs to be recognized by the contribution that they put forth, the people that they truly are. This is what I believe in. Okay, I'm just noticing a trend here. I'm noticing when the immigration talk happens, when I'm having a live and people bring up immigration for whatever political views they have or whatever reasoning, they're always pointing fingers at Mexicans, like Mexicans are being treated different. Okay, it's not a Mexican problem. Okay, it's an immigration problem. There's not enough room. There's not enough food. There's not enough amenities to help everybody. See, the United States has always been the big brother. The United States has always been the country that everyone flees to because there's a lot of land and a lot of opportunity. But we are running out of places. It's just like getting tattoos on a body. Eventually, you're going to run out of real estate. And then you're going to have a fucked up paint job, right? But there's nowadays people took them off, put new ones, cover them up. I've seen people with scribble and scrabble all over their face. Hey, if you don't have the money to take it off, just put something over it, right? New paint job. These are humans we're talking about here. These are children, men, women, a lot of them that just want to come. The majority of them just want to come over for opportunities to work, to financially help and make their fucking family stable, you know. But it looks like the agenda is to look at the evil that happens. There are evil people, even here in the United States, probably more evil than anywhere else. There's a lot of things that are going on. You know, if you don't properly educate yourself and understand the impact that immigration has, especially illegal immigration, then you'll never be of an understanding. You can never speak on it. I had to do my proper research. I had to really look into this situation before I cast a vote or before I decided which way I was going to lean, and really recognize what it is. Coming from a family of immigrants, having tios and tias and family that are Mexican Americans now, but are Mexicano nationals then, and even some that are still Mexican nationals to the fullest, I felt some type of way. I was biased. You know, I felt like, hey, I've seen my people, these are my people, my actual family members, ridiculed, dehumanized, paid less on jobs. I actually worked the fields amongst a lot of migrants and a lot of immigrants. So I understand the situations they go through and how they live in fear and have to look over their shoulders. But in the same token, I've committed crime and had to run around with warrants and police and authorities looking for me. So I know the feeling of having to look over your shoulder, having to drive the speed limit, having to make sure that you don't do anything out of the norm so you don't gain law enforcement's attention. Okay? That's an unfortunate way to live. That's an unfortunate way, and people don't think about that. You know, and I understand, well, then just don't come over. That's easy to say if you're not in the position that they're in. Okay, but the big topic of the day is, why are Mexican immigrants being treated different from everyone else? I see where you got a lot of Venezuelans and Haitians and these other groups, right? Even Arabic nations and Chinese, they're coming over in mass numbers. And they're being afforded housing. You know, they're being afforded social security checks, welfare, in some cases, food stamps. A lot of these perks that are given to Americans that shouldn't even be given to these people. You should get off your lazy ass and go to work, first and foremost, right? But a lot of these things that we've had in place for years, which makes our land so great, you know, it gives opportunity to those that necessarily weren't born into it or don't have it, is being allotted to people just coming over. And there's a lot of Americans and a lot of people that are frustrated. They are wondering why their honest, hardworking money is going to immigration. Your money's got to go somewhere. Why not help someone? Okay? Now, these people should be vetted. People coming over, absolutely, for the safety and security of our nation. But even more so than that, you know, there should be men, women, and children that absolutely are in need. The elderly, people that have disability, women with children, that should be helped. Okay? It's the right thing to do at the end of the day. Is it our responsibility as people, as a nation? Absolutely not. But it's our responsibility as humans, as human beings. You know, if you leave people out on the streets, they're just going to accumulate, and then everything's going to be worse, and the area is going to get torn down. It's just like the homeless crisis that's going on here in the United States. If you want something done about it, you have to get off your ass and do something about it. Whether it is vote, whether it is go out there and help people, whether it is go out there and educate people, You know, I've noticed a lot of the homeless people that are in our country, man, are suffering from mental illness and all kinds of different things. People don't accept the realities that anyone is just one payment away from being homeless, even myself. It's just the way it is. So when I see people that are going through a situation, even that if they're addicted to drugs or whatever, my first thought ain't, that's on him or it's all bad. You know, my first thought is, wow, I wish I could help more than I do. You know, we could only do so much, but imagine if all of us got together and helped people rather than hurt and talk about it, then a lot more would get done. Okay, with this illegal immigration, is it a crisis? It's absolutely a situation where you have to stay aware because it does impact everyone, especially those towns and cities that are on the border that are seeing mass floods of people come in. Okay, scare tactics. Big time media will scare you. They'll make you believe that these people are coming over to take your job. They'll make you believe that these people are coming over to tear down your community. They'll make you believe that these people are coming over with threat. They try to instill fear. It's called fear mongering. But that ain't really what's going on. A lot of these people, not all of them, there are some bad people, but a lot of these people are just merely coming over to get away from being impoverished, to try to explore and understand the opportunity of the land and the free, or the land of the free and the home of the brave. Okay, now, a lot of us that are citizens that were born here in the United States, we feel privileged. We're all born with a silver spoon in our mouth, whether you like to believe that or not, because we are born into a free nation where we have the chance to make a resume and get a job. We have the chance to educate ourselves. We have public schooling for kids that's absolutely free, which also doubles as a caregiver for parents that have to go work. We're afforded so much creature comforts and so much comforts that we take it for granted. And the people that don't have that, instead of trying to help them and realizing their situations and sit down and talk with them and understanding, we're quick to throw names at them, disrespect them, you know, and I noticed the Mexican people get a brunt and a lot of the hate. Okay. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. You know, I've grown up around illegal immigrants my whole life. A lot of my family came over illegally and didn't come over to sell drugs. They didn't come over to commit crime. Have some committed crimes? Yes, just like there's some honest, hardworking citizens that just turned to the life of crime. Hey, even Walter White broke bad, right? You know, people just do what they do. And for whatever reason, it just depends upon the situation. Right now, I could be YouTubing and doing my thing. Tomorrow, game could be over. It just depends on what the day brings you. But the focus on illegal immigration needs to be had and it needs to be said. And that's why I'm focused and why I'm doing this video. You know, why are the Mexicans the blame? I understand it's a Mexican border, but do you understand that 80% of the immigrants that are coming through illegally are not even of Mexican descent? There is a lot of Mexicans that don't want to come into the United States because they're not being afforded the same opportunities they were in the past. And it just boggles my mind because I've seen paisas come over, Mexicanos, Mexican nationals, whatever title you want to put on, and they're not afforded housing. They're not afforded food stamps off the top. All they're afforded is name calling, ridicule, the jobs that nobody wants, and all these other things that are in the negative. Why is it now that all these different ethnicities are coming over and being allotted or afforded all the amenities that the Mexicans never were? Is it prejudice? Is it racial? To some degree, but at the same time, what it is even more so is a lack of understanding of what people come to actually make a great life and to actually contribute into the complexities in the society that we have here, rather than people that are just coming over here because they're fleeing their country because it ain't cool no more, or because they want to come over here and steal jobs or sell drugs. There's a lot of people from a lot of different nations that don't like America. They come with hate already instilled in their heart, but come to utilize. These are the people that we must vet. Again, we must not single them out and treat them differently. Absolutely not. Because every human being has rights. Every human being should have the opportunity to speak their mind and to be free. That's what we afford here in the United States of America to people. Okay. Now, I grew up a citizen. I was born in Modesto, California. You know, I didn't grow up with the best opportunity. Okay. My father was in and out of prison. My mother was a single mother on welfare trying to raise her kids and get by in a barrio. But we had it better than most. Okay. And at a young age, coming from a family who's very well educated into the raza movement, into the plight of Chicanismo, into the struggle and strife. I've had family members that marched with Cesar Chavez. I had family that were on the front lines of the Huelga strike. I've just had family members that ingrained themselves into educating themselves about our people, right? So I've seen every different side of the coin. Now, I chose, rather than joining them and fighting for my people, I chose to fight my own people. Do I understand the error of my ways now? Yes. I threw away a lot of the freedoms that I had right from the top. I threw them away to go to prison, to be a gang member, to be a not productive member of society, to hurt my own people. And then I realized at a certain age, when I couldn't contribute no more to the cause, when I had really nothing left in the gas tank, you know, it was too late, that I had chose the wrong side. That if I really wanted to fucking believe in my people as a people, I had to understand that everybody, human, is my people. So now I fight the good fight for the raza first and foremost, but also for all the integrity of all people. So this illegal immigration thing it's really perplexing, and it really gets under my skin, because I see the Mexican people being treated different. And I ask the question, why? Why don't Mexicans that have been coming over for years get housing? Why is this just happening now? Why do they still get the brunt of all the hatred and everything when all these other ethnicities are coming over and they're getting put in luxury hotels? They're getting food stamps. Now, I don't see nothing wrong with helping the next man. And I know times changed and things changed. And now because it's becoming a worldwide trend and it's focused on even more so than, but it's been going on, right? But because it's focused on more, things have changed. Rules have changed. Laws have changed. But still, to this day, man, the Mexican people get a bad name. Okay, and again, like I told you, man, the majority of the people coming over ain't even Mexican. As you can tell by these clips that I've been playing throughout this video, you know, the proof is in the pudding. Now, I understand with the safety and security of our nation, with people trying to come in to cause harm to our communities, we have to be on alert. You have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready, or hurry up and get ready so you're already ready to go. You know, we're in crazy times right now. We're in end times, whether you choose to believe that or not. You know, the cost of living is crazy. You know, I've seen people actually leave our great state, our great country, because they couldn't afford it no more. You know, it's not like people think, man, like it was. The opportunities are dwindling fast because as a nation, we're not creating more opportunities for ourselves. We're relying on other countries and becoming dependent on them to supply us with supplies we already have. We just don't know how to distribute throughout our nation. That's why it's up to us as citizens, as free citizens, to make the right decisions on who to vote for. You might not like one person's policies. You might not like something else. But at the end of the day, man, whatever floats your boat, hey, as long as you stay up out the water, right? With this illegal immigration thing, stay focused. Educate yourself. Understand before you become biased on what it really is. My whole thing is I am tired of the Mexican people getting downplayed and acted like they are the only ones coming in, or they are the ones that are coming to cause damage and sell drugs and crime. That's not the truth. That's furthest from the truth. Okay? There's so many Mexicanos, so many Mexican nationals that come over and work hard. You ask anybody that you've ever met who's the hardest working people, and everyone's going to say a Mexican. A black person's going to say it. A Wood's going to say it, brother. A Mexican's definitely going to say it. Everybody. A lot of them come over and take the initiative to do whatever job they can. They hustle. You know, they're not trying to ruin our country. They're trying to instill help for hope. That's it. You know, not to say that any of these other people are not coming over to work as well and do that. I'm just saying, instead of believing the fear mongering that's going on, you know, the people that are eating cats and dogs and the Haitian hate and the Venezuelan gangs, that's what people are focused on. And that's just a scare tactic to scare people. Start focusing on the people that are doing good. You notice all the drama and all the hatred and all the bad things always get publicized so much, so then you develop a hatred. And it's something that you might not show in the exterior, but it's ingrained into your mind where you start believing it. And then you start judging all people based upon that one situation that you've seen on whatever news broadcast you've seen it on. Rather than doing that, be a smart, intelligent individual with the freedoms to do so and start investing more time rather than watching the shenanigan shows and hating into educating yourself into what the people that are doing from that particular ethnicity that is right. How they're bringing communities together, how they're setting up shop in communities or being placed in communities and actually doing the right thing. There are so many illegal immigrants from the beginning of time. The Irish Americans, the Italian Americans, of course, the Mexican Americans. There's so many others, right, that have come into this country and actually built this country by the sweat of their brow. They never get the accolades or the flowers for that. You know, that same thing with the African American people that were illegally brought into the country as slaves, right? But are the fabric of America now. I give respect where respect's due. That's what separates me from a lot of other people. I'm not always about the drama or the negativity or the bullshit. Sometimes, just sometimes, I want to educate you guys and bring you some real knowledge you can't get in college. So I say to you guys this. If you don't want to be caught up in believing the bullshit, tap in. Stay tapped in. Educate yourself into what illegal immigration really is and how you can help rather than hurt the people. I'm tired of seeing my Mexican people being thrown to the side, being talked about. People are acting that are very uneducated and don't have no type of knowledge into this situation. You know, talking about the Mexicans are coming over. No, that's not just the Mexicans. And first and foremost, it's not even half of the Mexicans. There's so many other groups that are coming over for whatever reason. It's just now all eyes are seeing. And here's the cool part. It's been happening. This ain't nothing new. This has been going on for years. My Theos came back and forth for years, a long time ago, before I was ever born. So it's been going on. Every one of them, new houses, new trucks. Some of them even got their own businesses, right? They lived the American dream. They got their papers. They did what they were supposed to do the right way. I'm all for people doing it the right way, but I understand that sometimes people do need asylum. Sometimes they are fleeing from abusive relationships or from situations that they can't turn back. These people need to be vetted and allowed a place to stay. Other people that are just coming over, able-bodied men that are coming over because they want to get a job in the United States. And this goes to the Mexicans too. Everybody, you know, first and foremost, you have to have reasoning to come over. Don't just come over because, hey, I want a better job than the one I got here. Hey, sorry, man. That's the luck of the draw. You were born there. You need to do what you have to do, you know, and if you could bring something to the table, bring something to the table. If not, your table's over there. Understand that. It's no hatred. I'm not biased. I'm just real. Imagine if it was a whole bunch of Americans trying to go into another country in mass quantities, right? What they would do with us. Huh? You know, there's situations where they don't even want us around. I'm just saying, let's be honest with each other. Let's be real. Educate yourselves and stop blaming the Mexicans for everything because it's a lot of everyone that's doing it. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's dropping real game to you. The knowledge you can't get in college for everybody. We're all human. Recognize that.